Topic 2, the guys they're chasing.
Oh, yeah. The LA Dodgers reset button during the All-Star break.
They really need this break. They need this break because they're so beat up. They look exhausted. They've had so many injuries. This 5-day window, aside from the guys that are going to the All-Star game, it's huge for the Dodgers to reset their rotation and obviously get some of the ailing guys off their feet and get them a little bit more rest. Ohtani continues to hit home runs. Last start, 3 innings, shutout ball. His ERA now is 1.00. And they've obviously subscribed to the formula, a slow build process. 1 inning, then 2 innings, now 3 innings. And the guy's throwing 99. He's throwing 100. He looks really, really impressive. Tyler Glasnow, first start coming off the disabled list, 5+ innings, clocked at 95, gave up 1 run. So far, so good. Blake Snell has now made 2 minor league rehab starts. He's up to 3 innings, no setbacks. He's got at least 2 more minor league starts. And Blake Trinan has had 3 bullpen appearances. Oklahoma City has pitched pretty well. So there's help on the way. I'm going to invoke this phrase. They may be in first place. They may have a $408 million payroll right now. I don't think we've seen the best of Dodger baseball yet. And if they get all these guys back healthy, they may blow everybody out in the National League West yet, despite the fact they've had some really slipshod stretches. This 7-game losing streak, you thought, wow. That's why this 5-day window to rest, get off their feet, hit the reset button, I think that's really, really huge. I think they need this break more than anybody realizes. Dave Roberts won't say it, but I will. The Dodgers look fatigued. They look worn out, and they look like they're about to cave in because of all these injuries. So now they get the 5 days off. I think it's huge. And John Riley's reaction, we're in a damn Giants cap.
I know. Yeah, the evil Dodgers, man. I remember going to Candlestick to Dodger games, and people were wearing these like Duck the Fodgers t-shirts and stuff. It's brutal up there in San Francisco. Well, anyways, doesn't it seem like the Dodgers are sort of playing a different game than everybody? I mean, it's obviously baseball, but in terms of how they have their assets and how they're managing it and how they're getting through this season, you know, with all these injuries and all this underperformance, and yet they're still in first place by a healthy margin. So it's like they're playing themselves more than they are playing all these other teams, it seems to me. But the one thing that you brought up that I thought was interesting was the way they're using Ohtani in the beginning of games. And like you say, building 1 inning, 2 innings, 3 innings. But that is such a foreign idea in my experience with baseball, because it was like, I remember 5 years ago when they started doing the bullpen days, and they would have an opener, you know, that was only slated to go 1 or 2 innings. That to me sounded kind of crazy. But has there ever been a time like this where it was planned that the starter was only going to go an inning or 2?
Now, the whole bullpen concept, I would say, has really taken hold within about the last 2 to 3 years. Tampa Bay, they had all these young pitchers that all had all these injury problems. Chris Archer, McClanahan, there are a couple others. They're the ones that first created the idea of bullpen day. And I first said, what do you mean bullpen day? You have all your relief pitchers throwing one day. Who's going to be ready the next day? But they put it into effect. The Dodgers really master planned it and made it really work. And then they got involved with their metrics analytics people, as witnessed by what we saw in the baseball playoffs with the Padres last year. And then it was not only a bullpen day, it was a day of matchups. My right-handers out of the bullpen against your right-handed hitters. And that next inning, after we get you out, my left-hander is going to do it against your left-handers. So, I mean, now the analytics guys are coming into play with bullpen days. It's a strange feel, but you got to do it. And the Dodgers have had to do it a lot. I mean, Dodgers are doing 2 bullpens days over a 6-day span for the last 3 weeks just because all these injuries. Sometimes it's blown up in their face. That was a byproduct of why they had a 7-game losing streak there. But they've kind of mastered it, but you don't want to have to rely on it because it's going to take a toll.
Well, on one level, it's cool that it's innovative, you know, and like they're figuring out ways to win games in different ways. And you get to see your star pitchers, you know, build up in front of you in the dugout rather than having them play in Class A ball somewhere when you can't really see their performance. But it's just, again, the bullpens now are just so specialized. Everything's different.
Yep.
you know, with how they are used. But yeah, you got to love that. Though, you know, the one thing about the Dodgers, though, I think part of their bullpen game strategy is they always bring up some, you know, sucker from Oklahoma City that's going to come there and have to eat like 120 pitches and just get worked.
If you're going to get work. But sometimes those guys come up and they give you Landon Knack, who's probably their top AAA guys, come up. He's given them some quality starts over a year and a half, but they always send him back because he does have options left. So that's where we are. Dodger baseball. You agree with me or disagree with me? They have yet to show us their best baseball yet. And if they get everybody back healthy, even Giant fan, my co-host partner, thinks I'm probably right this time.
Well, you definitely, I think so.
We haven't seen the best baseball yet.
Okay.